me tell you something that might make you a little bit uncomfortable. If discipline were the answer, you would already be profitable. You've built the strategy, you've set the rules, and you promised yourself, this week, I'm gonna stick to the plan. And yet, you still break it. You still FOMO, you still oversize, and you still revenge trade. That is not a discipline problem. That's your nervous system hijacking your decisions. And until you fix that, you'll still be sabotaging your trades no matter how good your strategy is. In this video, I promise you, I'm going to show you exactly what's happening inside your body when you place a trade and how you can finally take control. Most traders think that discipline is all mental, but it's not. It's biological. When you open a position, your body doesn't see a setup. It sees risk. It sees uncertainty. It sees potential loss. And your nervous system reacts the same way as if you were being chased. Your heart rate increases, your breathing shortens, your chest tightens, your thoughts speed up. That's not weakness. That's survival mode. And this is the reality of how it feels once you start to place trades, especially if you're a beginner. You need to be aware of this and understand this is how your body is going to react. When you first start trading, it's very common to find yourself in what's called the sympathetic mind state. And this is where most traders are going to be in for a period of time. Unfortunately, most traders, they never get out of this mindset. And this mindset is all about survival mode. And here's how you know if you're in this mindset. You're going to feel urgency. You're going to feel like you have to take this trade. You're going to feel scarcity, like this is the only opportunity the market is ever going to present. You're going to feel FOMO, the fear of missing out if you don't try to take this trade right now. You're also going to have the fear of being wrong and the fear of looking stupid and the fear of disappointing everyone else because you've already told everyone that you're going to be a trader. And then what makes it worse is you don't actually trade your plan. You trade anxiety, you micromanage, you stare at every single tick, you close winners early, you let your losers breathe, and you break rules to fix things. It's a sick, sinking feeling that just repeats itself over and over and over. And the worst part is, you know that you broke your rules, but in the moment, you just felt like you couldn't control yourself, like you just had to do it. You had to click the button. And that's because survival mode shuts down emotional thinking. It puts you into a different element. When your nervous system believes that you're in danger, it prioritizes, how do I escape? How do I get out of this situation? And there's no logic behind it. You cannot discipline yourself out of a biological response that your body finds itself in. You're probably asking yourself, well, why does this keep repeating itself? And this is where it gets scary. If your baseline start when trading is stress, your body will always naturally gravitate back towards it, even if you promise yourself that this time it will be different. Because here's what you'll start doing. Increase size after a few wins because you're feeling great. Force trades after a red day. Break rules when you feel like you're behind. And the reason that this happens is because stress is familiar and the body will always gravitate back towards what is familiar. And this is why you repeat the same mistake day after day and week after week until either A, you learn how to fix it, or B, you just naturally give up and quit. And listen, it's not because you're stupid, it's because you're unregulated and you don't know how to get yourself out of this mindset. The good news is there is another state of mind that you can put yourself into to start actually becoming successful trading. And this is where professional traders find themselves. And this is called the parasympathetic state. And this is the only way to trade consistently in the market to make profits. In the parasympathetic state, your body can now start to control things, unlike when you're in the sympathetic state. When you're in this state of mind, you're gonna notice a few things. Your breathing slows. Your shoulders feel more relaxed. Your thoughts now become clear. You don't rush, you don't chase, and you don't obsess over charts, watching them all day, tick after tick, bar after bar. Once you see your trade, you execute, and you only execute once that trade happens. You know your exact stop before you enter the trade, you accept the loss before you place the trade, and you let the probabilities play out. In this state of mind, you are calm because you feel safe. And the word safe, it really matters. Once your body feels safe, it's amazing the things that you can do with more confidence. And once you have confidence, you'll naturally start to take better trades. When your body feels safe, your prefrontal cortex, the decision part of your brain, starts to work properly. And this is exactly where patience lives, discipline lives, and high-level execution lives. It's not in willpower, it's in the regulation process. And I really, really want you to get this, because once you understand this, once you can make that mental mind shift, things are going to really change for you. And to help you understand this better, I'm gonna give you a story about this rock and how I use it every day to trade the market. And I always have to remind myself that this is me. I am this black rock right here. So what do I mean? The market is like a storm. I know there's gonna be red candles. I know there's gonna be news. I know there's gonna be fake breakouts. I know there's gonna be losses. And regardless of the outcome of all of that, I know the storm is always going to be screaming, always going to be throwing things at me every single day. But the rock doesn't react like most people. You see, the rock, it doesn't tense up. It doesn't get emotional. It doesn't panic. And it certainly doesn't try to fight the storm that is here and that is always coming. The storm is always temporary, but the rock, my brain, my thoughts, is always permanent. And that is the way that you need to start thinking about you, about your trade plan, about your execution, about your willingness to stick it out, survive, and win in this game of trading. Let's now imagine that we have two traders sitting next to each other. They have the same setup, the same entry, and the same stop. One trader in the sympathetic state of mind is worried about their bills, worried about all the problems that they have going on in their life. Their breathing is out of control, they're not relaxed, and they're thinking about all the people that they promised that they are going to be a successful trader to. And then on the other side, you have the parasympathetic trader, the one who's relaxed, who's not nervous, who knows and understands their setup. They're calm, they're relaxed, they're breathing normal, their shoulders are back, and they're patiently waiting to execute properly. They both have the same strategy. Let me ask you, who do you think is going to manage their risk more properly? The trade then executes. Trader A, the sympathetic trader, sees that the trade is starting to go against them, and they adjust their stop. They double down. They make all the mistakes. And the reason for it is because they're not thinking rationally. Their nervous system is scared. They're thinking risk. They're thinking about all the problems in their life. And then the other trader is calm. They're not adjusting their stop. They're not doubling down. They're following the plan that they put before themselves, because they know that over the long haul, the probabilities are going to play out whether or not this trade is going to execute and be a winner or a loser. Same strategy, different nervous systems, different outcomes. You see the difference? Your identity in trading is not what you say. It's how you feel under pressure. You can say, I'm disciplined, I'm confident, I trust my system, but if your body feels panic, that is your true operating system, and the market will expose it every single time. So how do we make that mental shift? You don't need more discipline. You need more regulation. Here's what you need to do. Reduce position size to the point where losses feel manageable. Accept your risk before you enter. Breathe before execution, and create rules that make you feel safe. Because when you feel safe, execution then becomes automatic. It's not forced, it's not exhausting, it's automatic. And here's the hard truth. Most traders will never fix this. They're gonna listen to this video and they're gonna blow it off. I did that for years, and it wasn't until I made that shift to where I became profitable, because losses no longer matter. This is the only profession where you're gonna sit down in front of your computer and you're gonna have to ask yourself, am I okay taking a loss today? Because you're either gonna make money or you're gonna lose money. Until you make that mental shift, you're always gonna be on the left side, the sympathetic side. People on the sympathetic side, they're jumping from strategy to strategy. They blame indicators, they blame mentors, they blame the market conditions. They're always searching for the holy grail, but what they never do is they never blame the operator. That person that they look at every single day in the mirror, they never blame that person, and that person is you. And until your nervous system is stable, your results will always be unstable. I would like to know your story. If you've experienced this before, drop me a comment down below. Let me know, let the other listeners know about you, about how you overcame these obstacles, how you jumped from the sympathetic to the asympathetic. This is a journey, and your journey matters too. Because remember, this isn't about becoming a better trader. It's about being a regulated human under pressure and learning how to control that. Because believe me, once you fix that, your trading will change, your confidence will change, and your life will change. And that, my friends, that is your true edge. If you're ready to take your trading to the next level, congratulations to you. Down below, I've created an Excel sheet that's got a game plan designed specifically for you to help get your mental thought process where it needs to be so you can succeed.